I am your host, Destiny Sidwell.
I'm also your host, Sarah Crowley.
And this is Bookmark'd.
We haven't caught up in a while with you guys, but also each other, so I got stuff to say. I don't know if you've got stuff to say.
I've got nothing.
Nothing?
I just saw anything that I was going to say, you already had down in the notes app. So I was like...
I was writing, like, everything I saw, I put in there.
I know. I would get a notification. It was like, Sarah updated the note app.
You got a notification?
And I'd be like, yeah, you get notifications. When you share a note with somebody, you get notifications. It's like with Notion. It would email me anytime you've changed something in Notion.
Oh, really?
Like, it gives me notifications, yes.
Why is that so embarrassing? We have a shared note to put, like, thoughts of... Cause I don't know, because, like, you're probably doing something. It says Sarah updated the note, and you look over, and it's like, new Emily Henry title.
I know. It's like, I'm like, oh, God, what's she put in there now? No, I'm, like, on the edge of my seat. Like, what does she think that we should talk about?
Okay. Well, it's not a secret, because obviously you can see it, but... Let's see, I feel like we should start with, we were just both away. You want to talk about it? Did you have a relaxing time? I know you wanted to have a relaxing week.
Yeah, it was great. It was gloomy and rainy the entire time because there's a hurricane going on, not in Florida, but it was in Louisiana. And I actually had to drive through Louisiana to get to Florida. So that was really fun. Like the drive down, it was very rainy the entire time. And then it rained the whole entire time we were there. So
How
we were
long
just
was the drive?
How long was the drive?
Mm-hmm.
It was like over 12 hours without any gas stops. Like, and then once you like are stopping for gas and go inside and stuff, it's like over 13. So a little funny anecdote. I don't know why, but my parents were like, you need to split up the drive. So we were checking in Saturday and they told me to like leave Friday, split up the drive. I was like, okay. So I drive all the way to Pensacola because if I'm splitting up the drive, I did this when moving too. It's like 16 hours to go home. And so I drove all the way to Dallas, and Dallas is 3 hours away from where I live. So I drove all the way to Dallas. So I drove 13 hours. So I'll just drive the bulk of it. That way the next day, the actual like first day you're doing something, you're not tired from driving. So I stopped in Pensacola, which was literally like 11 hours. Or 12 after everything. And I got there at like 11. It was the eeriest vibe I've ever felt in my life. Like I actually was like, I need to get out of here. I slept like terribly. And even like our Airbnb was nice, but something about the vibe. Something
were
about the vibe.
Were you in the middle of nowhere?
We were like at the beach. There were like a few condos like on the beach.
That's like with Airbnbs, you just don't know where you're going to be surrounded by when you book them.
Everything, like, on paper, everything was normal. Like, whatever. It just felt like a ghost town. Like, it felt like... Okay. Really deep cut for a second. This story has stuck with me because I was really into creepypasta when I was in, like, middle school, high school. I don't know if you guys know what creepypastas are. They're basically, like, people make up, like, very scary stories. And they're short stories and they're scary. Well, I used to go on Instagram. Similar to how we used to read Dance Moms fanfic on Instagram.
Crazy to bring that up.
It's so... Anyway, moving past that. I used to go on Instagram accounts and they would, like, write these scary stories on Instagram in the caption. So, one of them, it was, like... You go into the bathroom and they couldn't get out of the bathroom. Does that make it like they were stuck in the bathroom? Mm-hmm. It's very hard to explain, but that's like the loose premise of it. So I thought I'm never gonna be able to get out of this town. Like it was eerie. It felt deserted. It was like gloomy. I actually had the worst anxiety in my life. I was actually having like an anxiety attack. I was like, we need to go. We need to go. Yeah. And like I said, everything was nice, but it was like eerie. I don't know. So then we left and we obviously, like, when Airbnbs and stuff, you can't check in till, like, 3, 4, sometimes even 5. Like, it really depends on when they're going to let you through. So, we went to, like, different little towns in Florida. And then we're driving to the Airbnb, and it's not showing up on maps. So, then, my family, like, it's just me, my mom, and Charlie in the car. Like, the rest of my family flew. And so, it took us to, like, middle of the nowhere construction. I was like, God. Well, I hope to God this isn't where the Airbnb is. Like, whatever. And then my mom puts in the address and she's like, oh, it's telling me it's 30 more minutes away. So I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense because we aren't even anywhere near the ocean because it said it was beachfront. So we're like, what is going on? So I drive 30 more minutes. I don't know that I passed the Airbnb because it's not showing up on Apple Maps. It's taking me to like, what it did was it took me to a neighborhood, a gated community that I could not get into, but thankfully there was a car that came through and like opened the gate for me. It told me to go through into the neighborhood, go through the roundabout and leave the neighborhood. And that was where the destination was. Like, I swear, I was like, what the hell is going on?
Maybe it's a new property. They just made it or built it.
No.
That is so weird.
And this is what I mean. Going on track with the eerie thing. And on top of all of the eeriness I was feeling, I was reading a horror book about like this haunted kind of paranormal house. And that threw me off as well, reading it. I was like, oh my God, this is like, which is the feeling that I crave in those books. Anyway, so then I drive 30 more minutes down the street. And then it takes me just in the middle of a street in the woods. Just in the middle of the street in the woods.
I would have convinced myself it wasn't real.
No. By the way, now me and my mom are panicking because my dad and my brother, Mila, on a plane trying to come here right now. Flight. So we're thinking that we got scammed. Like, we're literally like, oh my God. Like, we got scammed. And then my mom is calling the people and they tell us, like, it's across from this hot dog stand. So here's the address to the hot dog stand. And this bar across the street, go to that, and it's like the address is on the house, whatever. We find the house. I was like, thank God. But it's in the middle of kind of like a deserted beach town, kind of like, you know how when we were in LBI and there were no like actual stores around, like you had to drive like 45 minutes or more to the Target? That's how this house was. Like, it was just in like it's called the Forgotten Coast. That's really what they call this town. Like, so that tells you anything.
That's an interesting name.
Yeah. So I was like, oh. But it was rainy weather the whole entire time. One morning I woke up and the waves were huge. It was like just a mess. But
it's like the beginning of one of those mystery books.
No, and I literally was like, oh my God, this is not
You're
doing
living
great things for me. And so since it was gloomy and rainy, I just read the whole entire time, and then we were just trying to find like rainy day activities. So we went and watched the new Beetlejuice movie, which I had never even, I don't know if have you ever watched Beetlejuice?
No.
Well, that was me too, actually. I like had seen it in parts. Like, my mom always watches it in the fall time, so if it was on the TV, I would see different little parts of it. You know what I mean? Like, where you're like, oh, I know that part of the movie, but I never like sat down and watched it like all the way through.
Was it a remake of like an original? Like, what did they do?
No, it's a continuation.
Oh. The only Beetlejuice, the first thing I think I learned what Beetlejuice was in a Wizards of Waverly Place episode when I think they were dressed up as Beetlejuice. Okay, so you didn't like that. That's okay. What else did you do? Just, you read, watched movies.
That's literally it. When I tell you guys that little funny antidote about trying to find the house, that's it. That's all I got.
Can you check off? It was relaxing? You got at least it was relaxing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do wish the sun was out, but what are you
gonna
do?
But no, I never once complained about the weather. I was like, I am fine. I don't need to sit outside. Yeah. It's sunny and warm where I live, so I don't really need true. Like. So I kind of was vibing. Yeah,
the ambiance of the waves and all that. I remember you sent me a video.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a good ambiance to read in.
It is, and I've said before that I love when it's gloomy outside because I don't feel guilty for not going outside.
Yeah, yeah. You could spend your vacation just reading and listening to the crashing waves.
But what about you? You were recently in was it a beach town? Was it like a beachy vibe?
It's near Ocean City where I usually go, so it's like the same type of vibe. We went. That was really fun. It was the same time. I think it was the week before you went. I think they kind of overlapped, so it was like the same timing, but it was like going into fall weather here so quickly that it wasn't very nice. Like, we couldn't go to the beach either. It was very cold. Not cold, but like crisp weather. Like, we would go for walks and like leaves are falling and it's like a little chilly out, which was totally fine. I honestly was kind of over going to the beach and stuff. I was kind of happy we weren't going to sit on the beach. I was really excited to like, I don't know, spend time with them because we don't really get together very often. Everyone is always so busy. So that was really nice. And then me and my stepsister took up puzzling.
I saw
kind of obsessed. Like, actually, like, I don't know what took over our bodies. Like, we did one puzzle all together. Everyone like put their little time and effort into it, and then my one stepsister had to leave to go back home, and it was just me and my other one, and we did 3 puzzles. We would stay up until very late doing puzzles. It was like our thing, but it was really fun. And then we would play Catan. I think I posted something about Catan. I don't know if anyone plays Catan, but it is so fun, and we only play it when like we're all together, the 6 of us, and it was just like, so I don't know if you've ever played Catan. Have you ever played it?
Mm-mm.
Oh my god, it causes so many arguments, but it's so fun. It's like, I don't really need to explain it. It's very boring to explain. Like, you have to like make settlements and stuff and like trade things. It literally reminds me of like if I lived in medieval times. Like, you're like bartering for sheep and wheat. But yeah, that was fun. And then I got home. Like I said, I read while I was there. Not a lot. I feel like when I was there, I was pick up a book when I like wanted to. I didn't really like force myself to read anything. And then I got home. You know when you get those notifications of like your screen time?
Yep.
Well, so usually mine are like up 7%, up like 3%. I was down. Guess how much down percent I was from being away with my family?
27.
31%.
Oh, I was close. Dang it.
That's like a lot.
That's
you
a
were
lot.
really close.
That's a lot.
Like, I just was not on my phone. Barely. It was so nice. Like, I just was very present, and I like felt very present there, and it was really, really nice. And it went really quick. And then I came home, and everyone went on their way back to their states.
This was nice little like goodbye to summer.
Yeah, it was. It was the perfect goodbye to summer.
Yeah.
And we haven't done anything like in New Jersey with everyone. The last thing was like Florida, so we usually always go down there, but they like came up here, and that was really fun. So yeah, it was a nice time. I had really a lot of fun. I got back home and it's like, it's just fall. That's it. Summer's gone. Complete goodbye to summer. Which again, I'm like okay with, but like we left and it was summer, and we came home and it was very much fall. It's like getting dark out at 7, which is like slowly the times are changing. It's getting dark earlier.
Yes. Literally last
me out.
night I was editing. I'd been editing all day yesterday, and then I was like, oh man, it's so late, like time for me to go to bed. And it was 7:30 and it was dark outside, and I was like,
it's so sad. And the worst is I feel like I can't do anything when it's dark out. Like,
yes.
If it's like 7 or 8 p.m. light out, it's like, okay, let's go do something. But once it gets dark, it's like I'm staying home. I don't know why. It's like I'll run my errands tomorrow during the day, but like 8 p.m. on a summer night, like, yeah, I'll go do stuff. And it's so sad 'cause it's gonna get dark at like 4 soon. And I can't leave my house.
Sometimes only in the winter though do nighttime errands hit for me. Like, I'm like, yeah, let's go do something at night. Let's go to Target
because you have
at
to
night.
get out of your house. You're gonna be like sad sitting in your house for so long. I feel like at that point you gotta step out.
I always fear when winter, like daylight savings is coming, because it's already hard enough for me to like convince myself to get out of the house when it's like bright outside, and then when it's just dark and depressing by 4 o'clock, and I'm just like, oh god,
You just don't want to do anything.
no. And then you get so
I
sad
know.
because you're just sitting in the house, and then you feel bad for not doing anything, but then you don't want to do anything.
I know, but you just like force yourself to like go to Target or something, do something outside of the house. Even
Yeah.
if it's like little. That's like when it gets dark out. It's like, okay, I know it's dinner time, but like in the winter when it's like 3:30 getting dark, I'm like, please relax. Give me a few more hours. of
Oh,
some
yeah.
daylight. I thought they were changing that. Didn't you hear that? They were going to change like no more daylight savings.
I feel like we literally talked about this.
Did we?
Like,
okay, well, I'm upset
Not
about
on
it
the
still.
pod. Not on the pod. Me and you were literally talking about this like last
Probably.
fall, last winter.
Yeah. Well, because it was a thing, and I don't know whatever happened to that, but whoever started that rumor, not very nice.
No, it's not nice to sit there and put that in front of my face like we're not going to do daylight savings and then do it.
Well, while I was there, me and Chris were watching our House of the Dragon. We finished that the other night.
You finished season 1 or finished season 2?
2, but the only thing is we both agreed, I don't know if this is unpopular opinion, we didn't like season 2. Did you like season 2 more?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Okay. We ended up, when I was away, we would like at night watch our show before bed, like, which was House of the Dragon, and in 2 seconds it would put me to sleep. And like one night, like, we both weren't tired, but Chris was like, let's just not watch the show, whatever. I was like, no, but I need to fall asleep. We put it on. I was out in 20 seconds. For some reason, I just could not. I was like, nothing was happening. They would like talk about things and then nothing would happen. Like maybe like 3 big events would happen. And I got so bored that we skipped an episode and we watched the last episode. And I
The
fell
last
asleep.
episode was tea. Oh my gosh, guys, I wish that we could like just talk about it.
Spoiler.
Last episode was tea. oh my God. The way that I would have folded so fast is all I'm going to say. Like,
I know, and now we feel like we need to get into Game of Thrones because there's no other season for this, but between that, we're watching Selling Sunset. Do you watch Selling Sunset?
Okay, I went through a Selling Sunset phase, but then it did what every freaking reality TV show does after it gets popular, and it's all fake. Like, all the drama is fake, and I can't stand it.
Yeah, that's kind of like, not like 100% paying attention to it, but very drama. I feel like the first couple of seasons were really good, and now it's like nothing is focusing on real estate other than showing like 2 huge houses. And it's kind of a lot.
And that's what I'm saying too. It's like like the first few seasons when is her name Christine, the blonde girl?
Yeah, she's not in it anymore.
No, but when she was in it, and like for the first like season or 2, like that was real genuine drama. Like all the tea that was going on, that was real. And the tea was about like, she took my listing, she wants this, blah 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 blah. Like it was entertaining. But then you get all of like the fame from it, and so then people start like just these watered down storylines. It's the same way that I only like rewatching the first few seasons of Dance Moms, because like that drama was real.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true actually. It's one of those shows where like we've watched all the seasons. When a new one comes out, like we gotta watch it.
See, I don't live with the arrest of that. If I don't like, I just am like, I guess I'll just never know well, because you see the headlines. I'll know if something happens. I'll see it on TikTok or something. Like, I can't be convinced enough. I don't care how much my TikTok is trying to push it. I say this, and then low-key earlier I was like, should I watch it? The Secret Life of Mormon Wives.
Oh my God, binged it in a day and a half.
Really?
One thing about me though is I love reality TV. Like that's one thing I can like actually watch on my own. I didn't know Mom Talk was a thing. I'm not on that side of the world. No idea. And I watched one girl. Never followed her, but her name was Michaela because she would like pop up on my For You page, so I knew who she was. And then I watched it, and she was on it, and she was a part of Mom. I literally blew my mind. Yeah, I had no idea what it was. You knew everything? Like all these people?
When all of the stuff that they were talking about in the show was like actively going on, I somehow was on Mom Talk with the Taylor girl, the one, I feel like she's one of the main girls, like with the brown hair. I was kind of on that. I saw like when the one chick did the video dancing with her baby in the hospital, which is an insane sentence for me to say out loud. And then I saw a clip on TikTok of her trying to like victimize herself in the situation, like cry about it.
Well, okay, if you didn't know what Secret Lives of Mormon Wives on Hulu, it's about Mom Talk on TikTok, like these few Mormon moms that live in Utah, and they have this group, and it's kind of just like going on. It's like just reality TV. There's lots of drama and stuff, but that one girl who made that TikTok, like she is like the villain of the season. But yeah, she victimizes herself about like everything. At first, like I gave her the benefit of the doubt, but like it got insane. And I didn't know anything about their religion, what they can and can't do. So like the whole thing was just opening. Like it was just so crazy to me. I guess because I didn't really know who they even were. But I honestly just watched it for the drama of it all because the drama was just like kind of crazy.
Well, I had like we were saying, I had seen the drama like unfolding, and I feel like it was like a while ago. And I feel like maybe that's why I haven't been quick to watch it, but now I kind of want to watch it. And my mom's still here, so I'm like, maybe we'll watch that tonight while I make dinner.
I feel like you should.
Because my mom loves reality TV. That's like one of the only things my mom likes Dateline, and she likes reality TV. But like all of the like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, all of the like open relationship drama that they were having, and like I said, her doing that dance in the hospital with your sick child on screen, and like, also all of it.
The Taylor, who's like the main character kind of the show, she at first, like before the show, I guess on TikTok, like not many people liked her because of what she did in her past and everything. But in the show, she's very open about it. So now people are like coming around to like understanding because she like wants to grow from it and everything. So like her storyline like makes sense. But like that other character, Whitney, who's like the villain of the show, like it's just like she's very like pick me, and like what she goes through, I don't know, it's just so crazy. You definitely should watch it. Not to like learn about like their like religion, which I think is what they try to market it, because like Mormon wives and like them being Mormon, it's like it definitely plays a part into it, but I feel like they focus more on like the drama in their relationships, like as like a group. I don't know too much to say, but I think that some of them definitely follow the Mormon religion a lot stronger than other ones do. You can like see in the show like what they do and what they don't do, and like also their spouses and stuff and how they all act around each other. And some of them are like, they call some of them like the saints and some of them the sinners because some act more Mormon, some not. It's very interesting. All of it's so interesting. I think just because I didn't know anything about it, I was so like addicted to the show. But I do recommend, now it's all over my TikTok. It's all I'm getting on TikTok.
No, that's all I see people talking about, and it keeps on popping up on my TikTok as well, but I just am like...
Yeah, I feel like you should try it. After like the first 2 episodes, you kind of just want to keep going. I also... Did you read Perfect Couple while you were away?
I started it, and I got like a pretty good chunk into the book, and then it was like... I had to like force myself to pick it up every time that I was like the only thing that was making me want to read it was because I want to watch the show. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to keep picking up the book. But then I feel like it was weird because I was doing a reading vlog and I said that this was the first book of like hers that I picked up, and I was like, I really like her writing. Like, I feel like this is good writing. Like, I feel like the book is very well written, and I feel like maybe that's why it's one of the first of hers to get picked up for like a Netflix show, because I feel like it's interesting. But I feel like it's too long. Like the fact that a mystery is like way over 400 pages, I was like, we're going too slow.
Yeah, she puts a lot of like the fiction of her writing into it, and like takes away from the mystery sometimes, which that book, I think it's just because I've talked about it so much. I was so excited for the show when I watched every episode except the last one, because it's nothing like the book.
See, and that's what my fear is because I hate when you do that. Like when I can't even like grasp that this is like, it's like loosely based on the book. Like, don't
That made me
make
so
it
upset. And they had such good actors, such good settings, such good production. Like all of it looked so good, but they changed like different characters and storylines, and like it was just so annoying. And I watched a few episodes with Danny and Kylie, and Danny read it right before we watched the show. She was very like, it was fresh on her brain. And she was like pointing out things. I read it like 4 or 5 years ago. So she's pointing out things that were totally different from the book. Character names, like siblings. Like it was just like, I think they changed it because for people who'd never read the book, for it to be like entertaining. Like my dad watched it and he was like, that was really good. And I was like, well, it's nothing like the book. And he was like, is the book better? And I was like, yeah, like the storyline just made more sense.
Sorry guys, Charlie just busts into my room.
It's okay. But yeah, I think the plot and everything, being an Ellen Hildebrand book, was just like so much better than what they did with the show. I don't know. And it wasn't like, it didn't feel like suspenseful. It was like very boring. I don't even want to watch the last episode. I don't want to know how they do the ending. If it's different than the book, I'll be so upset. So I stopped. I'm so disappointed.
And that's what I think people were telling me that too when I was like, oh, I'm reading The Perfect Couple. And then I got like a few, I think, DMs and stuff. And people were like, nothing like the show. And the show was bad, blah, blah, blah. But it's also interesting because I was listening to a podcast this morning and they were talking about how they watched The Perfect Couple, and people who like for example, like if my mom or something was going to watch it, like they could think something completely different from it than like everybody who's like read the book, which that's why sometimes I'm like, I do just kind of like enjoying content. I always am like, oh, read the book first, read the book. But then I feel like sometimes that's why I don't watch stuff, because I haven't read the book. But I feel like also it's just so like a lot less critical if you don't read the stuff.
Like the show was probably so enjoyable for someone that doesn't know the actual details of what it was inspired by, which is it's a loose inspiration of the book. It's not an adaptation of that book for sure. And I don't know, maybe Ellen didn't have much say in like the like writing of it and everything, so maybe that's what they did to make it more, I guess, entertaining for like a series. But it also could have been a movie. I'm just like, whatever they did with it is so confusing. The only thing they did right was the house on Nantucket, and also the actors. I think they picked great people to play the roles. Like Nicole Kidman, perfect for a main character role in an Ellen book. Like she's the epitome of that. So yeah, I was a little upset, but that's okay.
I will say that I feel like they did really good casting, because while I've been reading it, I like can imagine all of them as those characters. Like the guy who plays the husband and Nicole Kidman, I'm like, they're perfect for the casting of like the guy's parents.
Yeah. Yeah, they all make sense to be playing them. There's some though that like little things are different. Like I won't say anything, but yeah, a little just disappointing. But it's okay. That comes with taking a book and making it a movie, which I wrote down. There's a lot I wrote down. Not a lot, actually. That's a very big exaggeration, but new things in the book world. New updates happening.
Yep.
That we've all seen, but we have to talk about, because we haven't talked about any of it. Okay, we're starting with a new Annabelle Monaghan, right? Monaghan book.
Yep.
This one is called It's a Love Story, and it's about a former adolescent star and punchline who has left her awkwardness in the rearview mirror thanks to a fake it till you make it mantra that has her on the cusp of success until she tells a small lie that sets her on a crash course with her past, spending a week in Long Island with the last man she thinks might make her believe in love again. Oh. Set in Hollywood and Long Island, a former teen TV star and a cinematographer who she can't stand. That's a very, I feel like for some reason always very vague, but.
No, I literally was about to say when I saw this and I'm like, Annabelle Monaghan has quickly became one of my favorite authors. And like, obviously, like I just discovered her this year. I've read all of her books. Like I just love. When I read it, I was like, not gonna lie, girl, I do not know what this book's about. I'm just gonna trust you with it because I feel like it's so confusing. Like even the way that it's worded, I was like, it just sounds like la 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 la.
Yeah, it's one of those things like, go girl, give us nothing until the book comes out and it's like so good.
But even like, what was it? Why did I just forget?
Summer Romance?
Summer Romance. I can't see. I don't have my glasses on. Summer Romance, I feel like it was pretty straightforward, even though it was in its vagueness. But I feel like maybe because those plots in her other books are way more simple. And what I mean by that is like one of them is literally like Summer Romance is like, oh, she's newly divorced. She's dealing with this. She kind of goes into a romance with somebody she didn't expect. Same time next summer is like past and present. Like the plots are more simple. And so, but I feel like she's trying to do a little bit different with this one, and it just got confusing in the premise on the back. I was like, I don't know what it is, girl, but I'm gonna trust you.
Yeah, I just even like the small little sentence saying former teen star and a cinematographer who she can't stand, but also it's a love story. What do you mean? She needs to give us more. Yeah,
give us nothing, girl, but that's okay with me.
Same. I'm still excited for it because I also love the books I've read by her this year. Her writing is just so good. So when does it say it'll come out? Oh, wait. Summer 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, says that in big and bold. Well, that's very exciting. And then speaking of adaptations, there's two that I've caught this week or last week. And the first one is Alice Feeney. I don't know if you guys know that I love Alice Feeney. She also has a new book coming out soon. Really excited about it. But the people of Beetlejuice, the producer, are going to develop her book to an adaptation. Sometimes I Lie, which I read, and I actually really liked that one. That one's one of my favorites by her. They're the producer of Top Gun, Wednesday, and Beetlejuice, and they're making a TV series from Sometimes I Lie. And I'm really excited about it. Because I feel like mystery books, like Good Girls Guide to Murder was good to watch because like just watching a mystery, I think those are fun. So I'm excited to see this one as a show. And also I think Rock, Paper, Scissors by her was picked up, but like hasn't been talked about, but this one. I
was literally about to say that because I feel like, well, have I only read Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney? I have Sometimes I Lie. I have that on my shelf.
I like that one.
After I read Rock, Paper, Scissors, I got like really motivated to like read other ones of hers, but we all know how I'm feeling about thrillers, and sometimes it's really hard for me to get convinced to read them. But I do feel like I like watching thriller shows and movies because those are my favorite types of things to watch. So I am excited about them because also I feel like she's a pretty well-respected like thriller author with like twists and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like those shows always keep me at least engaged in it, so I'm excited about that. I don't think it says anything else. I think it just says that those producers like are gonna do it, which I'm really excited about because I feel like those are like good vibes for like a mystery thriller show.
Those are like more darker. Well, not Top Gun, but like the Wednesday and Beetlejuice, like they're more darker vibes.
I'm excited for her. Happy for
Same.
her. Also,
congrats,
Alice Feeney. Also, congrats to Miss Kirsty Greenwood. The Love of My Afterlife is the producer. So I think this is the producer, what's his name? Justin Baldoni is part of. And this book is going to be in a film. I don't know if it said movie or show. Well, yeah, a movie out of her book. What? Did you read this?
No, I read like 30-ish pages of this book, and then I'm sorry. I'm going to continue reading it. I was cringing so hard through the first like 30 pages of it. It was doing the like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, I don't know how to put it into words, but I was just like, Like, I can't do it. I don't know.
The audiobook of it is good if you want to try that.
I might, because I was like, I can see myself liking it though. Like, I'm not saying that, ooh, this book, I don't like it. I literally have only read the first 30 pages, but I had to put it down. And I picked up something else because I was like, I can't do it. But that's not even my beef with this.
Yeah, what's your beef?
This book literally just came out like a month or two ago.
I know.
How on God's green earth
quick.
Is it getting? I feel like there's not even enough, like, I don't want to say hype, but like conversation about the book to like buy it and be like, we're gonna, which I do think, but then it says, I don't know, because sometimes it just makes news that rights were bought. That doesn't mean that it's going to be made into anything. Like, rights to the book get bought all the time, but it could be years before anything's ever made, until you start seeing that like it's in production, which that would even be a step farther. If they said, oh, this is in production, I'd be like, no way.
Yeah, it did happen very quick, which I'm happy for this author, but my guess is that someone in the production company read it, maybe.
Yeah.
And then they were like, no, this would be good. Because when I was reading it, I like pictured it in my head, kind of like seeing it as a movie. I think it would be very entertaining.
Yeah, I thought the same exact thing though.
Like, it gave that kind of energy.
Yeah.
Like, I could see it being entertaining. So I think it'll be fun. Like, it's a fun take on a romance. And I think it would look good on a screen if they do it how the book is, I'm hoping.
I had some in my teeth. I actually, weirdly enough, in the 30 pages I read, I thought the same thing though. Like, I was like reading it in the way that we kind of talk about, like when she goes to the afterlife and the therapist and stuff that she interacts with at the beginning. I could see it in my head, and even like the first interaction with the romance, I was like, oh, yeah. I can see it in my head. Like, this is very like movie-esque, but I think like, is it Drop Dead Diva? I was a TV show back on Lifetime. Like, we've done this before.
Yeah, I feel like this one can get very cheesy and feel like, you know how like the kissing booth and like those type of romances?
No,
I feel like this one... No, I know that's what you mean.
That's what it is. You know, when you watch The Kissing Booth, in the way that Joey King, I think, is a phenomenal actress, but the way that she acts in that movie, how it's... do you know the type of what I mean? Like, the way that she acts, it's awkward a little bit.
It's those type... It's like The Kissing Booth. It's the All the Boys I Love Before, like those type of cheesy romances. Definitely could see that happening with this one.
Yes.
Especially where it goes. Like, once you can read the rest of the book, like...
I will say, though, I do like To All the Boys I Love Before movies. Especially the first one. The thing is, I like all of those movies. I think that they're fun to watch, but definitely cheesy and cringy. But that's, like, kind of the point of them, I feel like. Yeah.
So, either way, though, happened really fast and really excited for this author.
Listen, that's huge. Like, that's a dream for so many people. I was just surprised at how quickly rights were bought for the book, because I don't even think I've seen people, like, rave about the book. Personally, it's not saying that people aren't raving about it. I just haven't seen anything. I feel like the most conversation I saw was just that the cover was cute. You know what I mean? And that's, like, all of these pieces is where I'm like, how? But it's amazing. That's not saying that the book is bad. Like I said, I haven't finished it yet. I could love it.
Who knows? You only got 30
and be like, hell yeah, let's get that movie made.
That was like Butcher and Blackbird, though. I feel like that one quickly. I mean, it got popular really quick, but I also feel like that one got picked up pretty quick, too.
It's just like when they get, like, was that last year that the Love Hypothesis got picked up? And I feel like that was after, like, 1 to 2 years of some hype behind it. That made sense, you know?
I feel like some companies might be picking them up, like with all of Emily Henry's book, doing it so that other companies can't, so that they have the rights to it when it's ready in time to do it. Yeah. So someone might see these books and be like, no, this would look good at some point. That's why we don't get anything, because they just want the rights to them, which is rude.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because most of the time people think, like, when you see these, like, titles, they think, like, oh, it's in production. I'm like, no, they just bought the rights. So, like, nothing's even, like, there's no script, there's no screenplay, there's no nothing. It's just like, hey, this studio bought the rights if they will ever make it. Sometimes they don't even make it.
Yeah. Hoping they make it for the sake of the authors, because that's not nice to do that and then not follow through.
Yeah.
To mess up. In other news, Miss Abby Jimenez dropped the prettiest cover ever for her new book that comes out April next year, called Say You'll Remember Me, which, if that doesn't sound familiar to you, you might not be a Swiftie.
Say you'll remember me.
As soon as I read it, I just started singing it in my head. But the cover is stunning. If you haven't seen it, we'll post it on the Instagram slides for today's episode. The colors just scratch my brain. The way the characters are and the title, everything about this, the dog, like, it just does something positive. to my brain.
Well, and this is like the same. I feel like this is a hypothesis that I have, or a whatever. Not even about the book, about the cover. Do you know how Emily Henry, her cover went viral? I feel like for like Beach Read, so she does the same kind of style choice with all of her covers. I feel like everybody loved Just for the Summer's cover, and this one is very, very similar in style and coloring. So I feel like now Abby Jimenez will try to make all of her covers look like that. Kind of like the same. No, and I love it. And that's what I'm saying, because I was like, I really like this style like we were talking about. So I would like it, but that's a little guess that I have.
I agree. I think Just for Summer was my favorite, but this one's topping it. And like the other interconnected series, it has the same like drawing character style cartoon, but like not like the background scenery. And I think that's what makes it.
They're like the style of all of her other books. Like Yours Truly and Part of Your World are like the style of the other series, and then randomly style shifted with Just for the Summer. So now I feel like she's going to try to make all of them look like that.
I agree, and I think it's so pretty.
I feel like it matches her style of book too. Like when I look at this cover and Just for the Summer, it makes so much sense with how her books are.
Yeah, I just think the color choice of this one is just so pretty.
I love it. I love the little fair going on in the back.
Right? Is that like... Wait, now I need to zoom in. It looks like the pier. Like, you know, like the... Yeah. What's it called? Ugh, so cute. And how she puts a dog on every cover is just, like, perfect. So.
And with this one, she said the video that we had both seen, we had kind of talked about, I can't remember if we talked about it on the podcast, you had seen a glimpse of this girl when Justin and Emma were in the restaurant at one point in Just for the Summer.
Yeah. This character showed up, I'm pretty sure. She talked about it. I saw a TikTok clip of her at, like, a...
book signing.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure she said that she showed up in Just for the Summer. Like, you would, if you read that book recently, and I don't know the girl's name, but she pops up, and you can definitely, like, catch it.
It's her mom. Because with the plot of this book, the main character takes care of her mom. I feel like it's hazy in my brain, but when Justin and Emma are in the restaurant, and they kind of have an interaction with the mom, and then she comes in, that's what it is. That's who the character is.
So this is in the same world as Just for the Summer. In that series, and I'm really excited because I love when those couples like pop back up. So it's fun.
I didn't think that we were going to be continuing this world because it's the same world as Yours Truly, Part of Your World, Just for the Summer, and now Say You'll Remember Me.
I'm sure this will be the last one in this one, and then she'll probably start something new.
That gives me the same sadness that I felt when Taylor Jenkins Reid said that Carrie Soda was the last book in that like Hollywood. Did she call it like Hollywood series?
Something like that.
I was literally just thinking about this the other day. I was like, what is she going to do? Because, you know, she hasn't had a new release like this year.
I was just going to say, when is her next book? Like, is she working on something? Has she talked about? I don't really follow up on her.
I don't know, because I really enjoy her books. But I feel like I rated pretty much all of the ones in that little series of, like, Daisy Jones and the Six, Seven Husbands, Malibu Rising, Carrie Soto is Back. Like, I really loved those. And I read her backlog. And I really like her backlog. But I just loved what she did with those characters. Like, I love the little world she built up and everything, and I'm like, what is she gonna do next? Like, I feel like that you should have just went with that.
No, maybe she was just done writing about like that time era and those type of time and place. I don't know what she would do next. I feel like she's done like her romances, and then also that little series of like that time period. I don't know. I don't keep up with her, but I would read her if she comes out with a new release.
Yeah.
Okay, the last announcement, which is probably the biggest one, which I think it was, I don't remember if I sent, someone said that it was like she's announcing it on Monday, and it was like Thursday or something, and I was just like counting down the days that Emily Henry is going to announce her new book title. This one, though, I have thoughts on, because I'm just like, it's different, but her new title coming out is called Great Big Beautiful Life, which just takes a whole different turn on all of her other books, except People We Meet on Vacation, but for some reason in my head, I exclude that one. Don't know why. But, like, compared to Funny Story and Happy Place and Beach Read, now we have Great Big Beautiful Life. What is she doing? Is she going to do something different?
I had seen somewhere, I can't remember if she said it or, like, somebody, but I think she said it. I might be wrong. That this was kind of inspired by, like, Last Great American Dynasty. Like, that's kind of a song that kind of is an influence for this book. I will say that I think we're going to see a tone shift in this book. I think it's going to read, if I were to guess, a lot more literary. I think obviously I feel like she's going to do something really big and emotional with the book.
I'm down for all of that. I truly am. I think if it's anything like Great Big, whatever, what are we saying? No, Great Big Beautiful Life. If it's like Last Great American Dynasty, do you think someone's gonna come from like a rich family, or like do you think she'll take that literally, or more just like folklore-esque?
I don't know. I feel like since she named a specific song, I feel like if she did. Hold on. Now I have to look that up because I'm like, did somebody just say that and go?
I know she said folklore, but I have seen that going around too. But I don't know if it came from her, but I feel like it would come from her because I've heard that too. I just can't wait to see like the cover art of this one. I don't know why I just thought really deep into a 4-word title being her next release when she's been doing the 2 words.
So I guess she said it's giving. It says it's going to be historical romance inspired by the last great American dynasty.
No way.
So maybe I would say, like, when we hear historical, obviously it's not like Bridgerton. I think maybe just kind of in the way that how we were just talking about Taylor Jenkins Reid, it's like just in the past. Like, I probably maybe would put it at like the 50s or 60s. In like the last great American dynasty, like that type of like empire of rich people and the glitz and glamour. I would love to see Emily Henry write something like that.
What year was Great Gatsby? Like
the 20s.
Oh, I don't think I would go back that far. I think I would probably say 60s. I can't historical romance. I kind of think I would love that, and I don't think I would usually say that, but I think I would enjoy it. I don't know. I'm really excited though for her to come, like, just give us any other glimpse of what this book is because I'm just really curious. She dropped a bomb and left, and that was it. So
wait. Sorry, we were talking about The Great Gatsby, and I had to make sure that it was actually the 1920s, and it is 1920s New York. But have you ever seen the conspiracy theory that people think, I think it's The Great Gatsby. It could be another one of his books, though, that they think that he stole it from his wife, that his wife wrote it, and that he, like, slapped his name on it and published it.
Oh, no.
I've seen that. Not saying that that's true. But every single time that I think of The Great Gatsby or F. Scott Fitzgerald, I always think about how people say that he, like, stole his wife's work.
That's crazy. That's true, because he's now a classic
or
name holder.
That people think that William Shakespeare isn't actually the one who wrote all of the books. They think he's like the face of it, and that, gosh, what's that one guy's name? Sir Francis Bacon is the one that wrote all of the books.
That's interesting. The craziest part is no one's gonna know.
No, the crazy part is that I could not care less. You could literally look at me and go, we have found historical evidence that Sir Francis Bacon is actually the writer, and I would go, then he still wrote the books. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't want to be the face of them. He chose somebody else to be the face of them. Okay. I like the name Shakespeare.
Yeah. Shakespeare just has a ring to it.
Shakespearean. You know, it's very Shakespearean.
Yeah.
Like, if we were villains.
We can't go backwards now. We can't change that name. Well, speaking of adaptations, did you ever read Tell Me Lies?
The one Hulu show that's like that weird...
The toxic one?
Feels like it's like After, but in like a different font.
Yeah. Okay. I read the book 2 years ago. I enjoyed it because for some reason I like toxic romance. It's not my favorite book, but had a good time. Watched the show. They changed like a couple things, but like not a lot. And it was entertaining because it's so toxic. Second season came out. Destiny. Insane. It is so unbelievably toxic and insane. It's just about college students, but like making the most insane decisions. I wish we could like spoilery talk about it right now.
Okay.
If any of you have watched it,
is it giving the same vibe as My Fault?
No.
Craziness.
It's
like
not
in crazy, like where our jaw was open. Okay.
Not in a way where a stepbrother wants to hook up with his stepsister.
No, but I'm saying, like, the stuff that they do is, like, we have our jaws on the floor. Like, we can't even believe that this is happening.
Yeah, like, the tea is so good. Like, I think you need to watch it. You don't have to read it. I won't even make you read it. I know you would, like, feel like you have to.
Oh, no, I'm never reading that book.
It. Okay. Can you please watch it? Because it is, like, new episodes come out Wednesdays at 12 a.m. Stayed up last night to watch the new one. I don't watch shows, but this is just, like...
But what is it comparable to? Like, is it, like, Pretty Little Liars? Nothing's just like Pretty Little Liars.
No, you can't really compare anything to Pretty Little Liars. Lucy goes to college. She gets into a relationship with this man who's extremely toxic, extremely manipulative, and people are talking about how he's not very cute, and it's like they're saying how it's like such a realistic of like girls have sometimes like they gone through the experience of being with such like a mediocre man who's so manipulative, but it's like an experience that some girls actually go through, and that's kind of what the show portrays with them. But so toxic, and what this man does like is unbelievable. And then just, like, with their friend group in the school, like, so much goes on between each other. Like, in this new one of her friends, Brie, like, if you guys are watching, what Brie is doing is just, like, that part of it is giving Pretty Little Liars. Like, I will say.
Okay.
It's just so drama. Like, so drama. And the main characters, Lucy and Steven, like, in real life characters are... Not characters. The actors, they're dating in real life, and they're actually really sweet and have a healthy relationship, and it's really nice to see.
Imagine having to go to work and be like the most awful person ever to your partner, and then like come home.
Well, that's what
I'm honestly surprised that a relationship like that lasts.
Well, they said in an interview that their first fight was like that, and like they feel so comfortable with each other to be able to act like that with each other. And it was very interesting. I've been watching all their interviews, and they're so cute. But then seeing them on screen and him acting the way he does, I'm like,
up these people.
How do you look him in the eye? Even though like they're separating the actors from the characters, but still, it is just so drama filled. I have to finish the episode.
Oh wait, that's so sad if they're saying that he's like not cute, and then like they're just dating
it's
in real
mean
life.
But that's what people are like taking from the show, because it's like I'm just in awe at the show, especially like and it also like flashes like it takes place like early 2000s college, so like the scenes and everything are very like early 2000s obviously, and then it like flashes forward to like 2015 where it's like their present day of like what's happening with them when they're a little bit older, and it's so good. I eat up anything that's just like drama. Maybe that's like why I like reality TV, but this one feels like just crazy.
Well, now I have like 2 different shows to put on my to watch list.
Yeah. Did you watch Man Called Ove? I think the show's like Otto, or the movie's Otto, they named him. Did you watch it yet?
Yep.
Would you like it?
I just prefer the book so much more over the movie, which I heard people say that they didn't like the Tom Hanks one, but there's one adaptation that was actually like Swedish.
Yeah, I think his stuff that's been made into shows and movies are not, what's it called?
Like if you watch Bear Town on
American.
HBO, isn't it like you have to like have the subtitles on?
I did see a movie coming out soon that I really would like to talk about.
We Live in Time.
Yeah, the movie that Destiny brought up, like as soon as it got dropped, and as soon as I got an email about it, called Destiny, FaceTimed her. It's like, girl, can you get here in 6 days?
I said, unfortunately, I will be gone. Literally, I'm always home, and then this comes up, and I'm like, I can't go. I can't see Andrew Garfield in the flesh, and I want to see this movie so bad.
I know. I did it for Destiny. So I went to see the new movie We Live in Time, and after that they came out and they had like a little Q&A section, which is like actually surreal. But I'm so excited for you to watch the movie. I like thought about you the whole entire experience. I was like, well, if Destiny was here, like the whole time.
That's actually enough to make me cry. When people think about you.
When people think about you? No, I'm not even kidding. Ask Danny, because I brought her with me because I got to bring someone with me. But it was just like a screening of it. It wasn't like a premiere or anything. It was just like people got invited, but also I think you can buy tickets to it. But in the beginning, the person from A24 who was like the production of it said like there's also like book talkers and book influencers here that we wanted to invite because the movie is really reminiscent of a book. And as soon as she said that, I was like, oh, it clicked. Like, why? I didn't know why I got invited. Very nice. So grateful.
Was it a specific, because you said this in your vlog and I didn't get it, was it a specific book, or were they saying like it's influenced like by plots of books?
It just like when you watch the movie and like their relationship, it feels like
a book.
It came from a book. Yeah. Nothing from like a specific book, which I wish it did because I would read it so quickly.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. It was just like reminiscent of just like reading, and book lovers would love it, which is why they invited these type or like us there.
I love that they thought about that, because like I feel like that's some, like they were like, oh, this would really cater to the book people audience.
Yeah. And I think like the way Normal People was shot and like the way A24 feels like a very different production from like any other production. I feel like they're very distinct in like how they shoot things.
Absolutely.
And the movie, it's basically like they're just the two main characters in it. Like there's like other people, but like it's just focusing on them and like snapshots of their life and like
love.
I know they're amazing actors, but like you have to be an incredible actor to just have like just dialogue the whole time and the connection they had and like not a lot of music going on, which is like it was so insane to see how incredible they were. And it's just snapshots like of their life, and the way it's cut is so interesting because it's so emotional, but the comedic effect in it is so good. Well, and they said in the
I was about to say, I know Andrew Garfield delivers because he's one of my favorite, like, not to get into it, but the actual like Spider-Man, he's one of my favorite people to actually play, like literally Spider-Man, not Peter Parker, but Spider-Man, because his little quips and stuff that he does like while he's in the suit, he's so naturally funny. Even watching their interviews, I've been watching their interviews, I'm like, he is so funny. You're
gonna love his character. He is adorable. The both of them are phenomenal. But after, when they were talking about it, they said that they met when they started like shooting it, and it wasn't supposed to happen because Florence had something else going on, but she had like a 8-week window open up, so they shot it in 8 weeks. They just met, and it was just like so insane that they could do that on a screen after not knowing each other. It was really, really good, and I can't wait for you to watch it. I'm gonna watch it again when it comes out.
I'm so excited. And I think it was the podcast we talked about when I moved, like my first podcast here, and I was like And I thought that when I first watched the trailer, I like waited for the trailer to drop, and I watched it because I had seen like some months ago little behind the scenes, because they shot it in New York. And so I remember seeing people like take pictures of them like filming, and I was like, oh, I'm sad. It's the same way that I'm sad for whatever the hell Dakota Johnson and Chris Evans are filming. I'm like, whenever that trailer drops, catch me on it. I'm so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, this feels so much like a book. Like if this was a book, I would read it. Like I need book recommendations for that. When that movie comes out, I need people to be like, if you want this plot, here's this.
Yeah, I want someone to write something like that. It's very, though, there's a plot, but it's just like completely character driven movie. Like you're just following them through different parts of their lives.
And I love Florence, and I love Andrew. I love them so much. Oh my god,
I can't wait for you to watch. They're so just phenomenal.
Also, can I just say that there are paparazzi pictures that came out. Sorry, watch me 180 this really quick. There are paparazzi photos that came out of Zendaya and Tom Holland, and they're at the pool, and they're both reading books. Oh, they switch. They switch. Oh my god, some like literature. Like, like they're not reading. No, you know what I mean. They switch books and start reading each other's books. Oh my god.
They're so cute.
There's no way that they could be more perfect in my eyes, and then they get more perfect. Sorry. Parasocial AF. For real.
No,
oh my god.
I'm so happy
Sorry,
for you.
I hate that I said AF. I hate it. It felt like, oh god.
When you say like LOL out loud.
Well, no, it feels like when I say an abbreviation out loud instead of just saying the words, it feels like the equivalent of seeing a cute shirt at Forever 21 and picking it up, and it has like emoji on the front.
Yeah. Giving
it's painful.
2014. Yeah, that's all I had to say on that. I don't think I have much else. Other than I woke up in the middle of the night and I sent you the TikTok. I don't know why I didn't send it to you on TikTok. I texted you the TikTok.
And the way that my heart was out of my... I woke up today at 4 a.m. I see a text from Sarah. I was like, oh my god, and it's a TikTok link. And usually if we send a TikTok via text message, it's important. It's like, look at this now.
So that's why I did that.
I'm scrambling, and it's literally just a TikTok of ZAYN going on Jimmy Fallon and announcing that he's going on tour. Isn't that what it was?
Like, but yeah, and that is important enough to send us a text message. And I think I woke up and thought I jumped it because I slept through my alarm this morning and I was so angry. And then someone texted me and asked if we were going to get ZAYN tickets. And I was like, oh my god, this is real life. This is real life. And he's only doing a few shows. Like, it's not even, like, a lot of shows, which is, like, I don't know.
Well, it was surprising to me that he even did that, because I thought that was his whole entire thing, was, like, he kind of got really bad anxiety about performing and all of that.
I think he's working on it. I think he's going to slowly get back into it, which is
also
music to my ears, quite literally.
I feel like I have to announce this here that my hypothesis was not correct. I didn't manifest Harry's album in September correctly.
It's not over, though.
I know, but, like, I just don't feel like I'll get it, and I need to address it now, because I don't think I'll be able to address it at the end of the month.
That's fine. We've been getting so much of him recently, just, like, frolicking around, that, like, at least he's back in the public doing his own thing.
And it's definitely because he has an album coming out soon.
Yeah. Do you predict it this year? Are we still on this year? Or are we...
I think it's going to be this year. I think maybe we'll get a winter release.
That'll save my seasonal winter depression.
The vibe that we've been having whisperings of, I'm like, I feel like it would be like a good winter album.
Actually, though, I can't even, like, think about a new Harry album. Like, I need new music from him so bad.
I need to be in the room whenever Harry either drops or announces that this album is coming out. Like, I need to be in the room with Sarah. I need to see it. Like, it's not enough for her to tell me in words, like, how she reacted. I have to see it.
Where was I when his last album came out? I went to the one night only of it. Like, if he has a one night only, I'm there. If he has a Spotify thing, I'm there. If he's doing stadium tours, front row.
I remember you were at, like, I don't think you were at your aunt's Airbnb, but I think you met up with your aunt in the city, and it was you and Lauren, and then you guys were listening to Harry's house for the first time because you were going to go to the concert the next day.
Yeah, we stayed at my aunt's apartment because it was, I think it was on Long Island, and New York is obviously, whatever, and yeah, we went to the one night only, and we were going to go to the merch thing the night before, and I'm pretty sure he showed up. But my friend was there, and she was like, oh, they capped the line, whatever. But, yeah, we went to that, and it was insane, truly. We got general admission. I think it was like $50. They did, like, before they did reselling of the tickets and stuff, every ticket was $50, I'm pretty sure. And we got on the floor for that, and it was, like, so insane. I miss him.
I know, and I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm just holding on some hope over here.
You keep holding on to that hope.
I will. It'll happen. Someday. The worst to think about is, like, someday they're going to be too old and, like, not make music. Like, what world will that be? Not one I want to be in.
It's like how Adele just announces she's taking, like, a big break from music after she's done with her last few shows. But here's the thing. I don't listen to, like, Adele's most recent album. I don't listen to literally any of those songs. So I am enough for Adele. I can listen to her first, like, 3 albums. Is it 3?
The only one I listened to was the Rolling in the Deep album when we were young, like, that era.
No, like, those are my favorite. Like, that's my favorite album from Adele. Yeah.
But she did perform in Las Vegas like, her residency, how long was that?
Oh, yeah. It was long. Well, any residency is very long in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I think she needs a break. So.
Well, can I tell you guys that one day oh my god, I literally am getting goosebumps thinking about it. One day I opened TikTok and it was a video and it was like kind of raining and she was singing. I literally have full body chills. Okay. She was singing Love in the Dark and she was singing the chorus, and the way that it literally felt like I like entered the gates of heaven. Like it like just like her and the music and the vibe of the video. I was like sobbing my eyes out just like watching it. And I was Adele. Only Adele.
Yeah, I was just going to say, only she can do that. If I had someone that could sing at my wedding, Adele.
Oh, yeah. Adele, 100%.
Yeah. She's an icon of our time.
She's an icon, and she is the moment.
As soon as I said that, I felt like a sound.
Because you said it in the same tone that they say that in the audio. Well, I'm sad that all of this book news that we talk about today is like months away. We're already literally halfway through September, and like we're going to be in October before you know it, and then it's the holidays and then the year's over. How are we here? I don't know.
I don't even know. When I got my hair done recently, I booked my next appointment because she was like, you should book it now. It's going to be the holidays when I see you next. And I said, girl, the holidays? I'm coming in December. Insane.
That is, no, like, I literally was thinking about this because we're halfway through the year, And then I am like, I'm going to look up and it's going to be like October, like almost Halloween. And then I'm going to look up and it's going to be November and I'm going to be like, it's Christmas time. And then you start getting to like the new year and then your resolutions take you until like February and then you're over those. And then you're waiting for it to be spring. Like it's just, but I hate the winter for the season and the daylight. But for some reason, like I love the holiday season and then I love the beginning of the year. Like I love the like newfound appreciation for life that I have. And I'm like, maybe.
Yeah. I think the time goes so quick because we're always like thinking about what's coming up and like what's like, and then that comes and like we're always thinking about the future. This is like nothing new to be present, but I think that's why time feels like it's going so fast.
Yes.
Okay, new goal, be present.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's it. I'll let you know if it happens.
Stay tuned to figure out if we stay present, and by stay tuned I mean we will see you guys next Thursday with a new and another episode of the Bookmark'd pod, which is what you're listening to, by the way, if you didn't know. If you happened upon us by accident, go ahead and check out and leave a 5-star review. Check us out on Instagram, check us out personally. Everything is always linked, whether that's on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube. You can find us anywhere that we have links. Don't try to find us outside of that because that's kind of stalking, but we hope you guys enjoyed as always, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Thank you guys.
Bye.